Hi, I'm Sherry, and this video is about 10 easy steps to starting a mow and blow business. So I have been in business for 33 years as Garden Angel Design, and I initially actually did do some mowing in my business. But over time, I took many classes and developed myself into more like a high-end gardener. But I know there's people out there that maybe want to create their own business because there's a lot of freedom in having your own business. And I loved it and still do. I'm still drawing garden designs and have a handful of clients, and it's enough, for what I have to offer. But I'm more high end. I do designs, I do um, plant profiles. I, have plant lists for all over California for, deer tolerant gardens, gopher tolerant gardens, all kinds of things like that. So I've created a lot of business collateral. But now let's get to you guys. I'm creating this video because I want to tell you the 10 action steps to starting your own business. And okay, so let's just get into it. So number one is come up with a business name. So this can be, it could just be your name, because if you start a business under your name, you don't have to get DBA, which means doing business as, and pay those fees and all that stuff. Anyone can have a business in their own name. And so there's that. That's the first one. So come up with a business name, and I just brainstormed. I wrote down words that I liked and different things about gardening and stuff like that, and I made a big list. But actually what ended up happening is at this time I was like in my early 30s, and in the mornings at my house, all three of my boys pile into my bed, and we just joke around and tell stories and things like that. And I was telling the story about how I had a guardian angel, and my little one, who was only 3 at the time, he said, "No, Mom, I'm your guardian angel." So I'm like, okay, that's it. That's the name of my business. So that's how I came up with that, or my son basically gave it to me. It's interesting because he is the one other person in the family who is also into landscaping, and he's worked side by side with me for many years, but also has now enough of his own clients to be a full-time gardener. Yeah. Okay, so number 2, moving on here. The second one is to, once you have that business name, is to basically, you want to print, you want to get some business cards. So I'm going to just turn this around for a minute to show you what I have. So I have business cards over there on the right, which I cut whenever I need them, pretty much. And then this on the left is, is basically the business card that was blown up, and I turned it into a flyer. And then on the other side of the flyer is that page in the middle that it says more about what I was offering: rototilling, mowing, trimming, planting, stuff like that. And then I created a tagline. So it's on the top there. It says, "Working with nature to create beautiful, healthy, happy gardens." And I also have another tagline that was help for the seasoned gardener and for the novice gardener who wants to learn more about gardening. So those are 2 of the things that would be good to create. So it's really easy to blow up your business card and turn it into a flyer, and then you can literally go to neighborhoods and you can just put those on people's cars or by their door, things like that. Especially good areas are senior areas like we have senior communities here in California. Oakmont is a big senior community. And once you get into one of those communities and they're a person that's working there, they refer you to each other and things like that. So that's one of them. Okay, so and the business cards are like seeds, so you need to think of them like seeds and spread them around. Like leave them at garden centers on bulletin boards. There's also different supermarkets anywhere way here where I live, like Whole Foods has a bulletin board. Yeah, so there are ways to get your information out there up on bulletin boards. Leave 2 or 3 or 4 cards. I got one of my really good high-end clients from there, and I've been working with them at their property for like, it's got to be like 16 years now. So they're my main client. Okay, so yeah, so once you have the cards, make the flyers. Yeah, okay, so number 4, tell people your business is built on referrals. So once you have a few clients, you want to tell your existing clients. This was told to me by a client of mine who was a marketing expert, and she said, you need to tell, she said, your problem is not advertising. She said, you need to just tell your clients, or your problem is not getting clients or anything like that. You just need to say, my business is built on referrals. And then people will start to refer you. It works, yeah. Okay, so we're at number 5. So at this point, you want to go to the county recorder's office in your county and file a fictitious, or your DBA, doing business as. Now, as I said before, if you're going to say, Rodriguez Landscaping, or, your own name, you can do that and not have to do the doing business as. So, yeah. To open a business banking account, they might want you to do it, but anyway. So, let's see. You want to keep anything you have to pay for your business. You want to keep all your receipts. Just keep a big envelope in your car. And then also a log of when you've been at each account, so you know how much you're charging them and all that. Okay, so let's see. So what do you need to start a mow and blow business? If you have a truck already, that's great, because you do need a truck, or a trailer, I guess, would also work. And a mower, gas can, pruners, loppers, tarps, and buckets. Pretty much you're going to mow the garden, clean, like sweep, blow, clean everything up. Not really any plant care unless you have some background in that, or they specifically ask you to cut someone all the way down, or make this look like a square, or something like that. Okay. So number 7 here is, for this business to work, you must show up weekly, or go on the next good weather day. And then you mow, rake, sweep, and basically clean up the garden. Yeah. Okay, the next one is, you want to bill your accounts out monthly. So maybe they pay you at the end of the month, the 15th, or you decide when they pay you, but monthly is a good way to go with that. Okay, the next one, you will need to keep a ledger, which would have the client's name, the date that you went, and basically you're tracking your customers and when you receive payment from them. Yeah. And then you'll also need a carbon copy receipt book. So when you give a receipt to the customer, you still have a copy of it for your own records. which you probably need to do your taxes. So that's pretty important. Yeah, for tax reporting purposes. And you may want to keep a mileage log, because all of your driving time is a write-off, which means that it's considered the cost of doing business, and so they don't really make you pay for it. It's kind of funny. So anyway, yeah, so mileage log would be good too. And then number 10 here is anything that you buy that is needed to run your business, including gasoline for your vehicle, your truck registration, things like that. All that is tax deductible. It's considered, once again, it's considered the cost of doing business. So it's a write-off. Yeah, so that includes gas, tools, dumping fees, gloves, sun hats. Could even include washing your truck. But you've got to have receipts for all this stuff if you want to write it off of the income that you made, which means that, trust me, you want to do this. I've been in business for 33 years and you get a lot of write-offs. So, okay, so this is just a general statement about it could be applied to any business. So self-discipline is required to run a business. You are the boss, so you make sure you don't lose your accounts. All you have to do is show up and do the job. It's true. It's totally true. So I hope that this video really helps people get started on having their own business. There's nothing as great as having the freedom of having your own business. Oh yeah, there's one more thing that's really important here. Okay, so okay, scratch that. So I want to tell you about this organization called SCORE, because when I was starting my business, I contacted them. So who they are is they're part of the Small Business Administration. And what they do is they mentor people on starting their business and making decisions, because you do have to make decisions along the way. And there is absolutely no charge for this. They are located in more than 50 states in the United States. And they help people with business startup. And they have, if you can't get to them, they can Zoom with you, or they can find a way to mentor you. And these are senior executives of big, corporations and things like this. So all of these people have, all the degrees you need to be at that level. So it helped me a lot. It did really clarify a lot of things for me. And what I didn't, he put out one comment to me that he said, like, well, since you did the Master Gardener training, my wife told me that that should be right behind your name on your business card. And I didn't say anything to him. I went, oh, okay. But to me, this is just who I am. I don't put myself out like that, like la-di-da, this is who I am kind of thing. No, I don't put myself out like that at all. I try to stay humble. So anyway, I do not put it right after my name on my business card. It's buried deep somewhere on my website. It says I did that training, but yeah. So anyway, I hope all this helps, because really, truly, there's nothing better than being in business for yourself. You definitely need to have the self-discipline, though, to do the job that you say you're going to do. Okay, thanks for watching. This is Sherry at Garden Angel Design, and I'll probably make another video about a more higher end type of gardening business. And so that could be coming down the pipeline pretty soon, maybe. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, all those things, ring the bell, whatever. Bye-bye.